Alright guys, I guess I'll get started here. I think everything is connecting. Yeah, looks like. Alright, I am streaming again live. I like to do it, multitasker at heart, or I pretend to be. So I've got you guys on Facebook Live. Thanks for watching. You guys on YouTube live streaming. Thanks for watching there. We're going to do another things you should not say to your handyman, okay? These are the things that people say, and handymen are like, and this is what we really want to say to them, okay? Because, some of these things, alright? I've been a handyman for many years. I helped a lot of people out of a lot of problems. But some of the stuff that comes out of your mouth, it makes us never want to come back again. So, alright. And this in the middle of a project, alright? So you've already got sweat or something like that. So you already got the blood, the sweat. If I don't cry when we're working, okay? But towards the end, I've had people in and nothing saying this is kind of crazy or something like that. And you're like well, it's just the cost of whatever they want to say is expensive. There's a lot of construction companies and stuff like that, when they go to get supplies, okay? They're charging you $70-80 an hour, and if they have to go buy supplies, by the time they get on supplies, handymen don't do that. So you're asking me why am I decades of dollars worth of tools that I have to buy out my own money to spend for blades and bits and etc. that are burning up on your job? I'm not expensive. I'm not making a killing, okay? I'm not like a car salesman who's joking about how much money I made off of you when I'm done, okay? Okay, I'm sitting there like sweating and trying to fix your stuff, or probably working over your stinky toilet, that you've jacked up, and you're going to ask me why I'm expensive. I don't know, because I literally have to deal with your shit. How's that? Okay? How's that one? Okay? For when I'm doing the plumbing. Alright, so I got some things I've written down. I've had a couple of friends on Facebook to help me put out a couple of them, because I think I mentally block some of these when I hear them, okay? Oh, here's a good one. You're sitting there working. It generally happens when you start to, a lot of times it'll happen like if I'm starting to get having troubles with something, because some things they just don't come apart, right? You're trying to work on something, and either the house is way out of square, so things aren't fitting, or if you're doing plumbing, everything's rusted together, so you're having some troubles with it. And then the homeowner decides to show up always at the least convenient time, and then they say, do you know what you're doing? And did you have to go to school for that? Oh. So I try to say, I try to be, again, the good handyman and say something like, yeah, I know what I'm doing, this is just, everything's just stuck here, I'm not cooperating, that's why it's broken in the first place. I have apprenticeships and stuff like that, if you really want to know, you don't go to college for this, you go to technical schools and do apprenticeships. I try to blah, 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 but it's really annoying, because that's a double slap, and that's just like, and boom, right? I mean, what the heck? Do you know what you're doing? And did you have to go to school for that? I mean, just because, this goes back down to what I did in the first episode, just because I'm working with my hands doesn't mean I'm stupid, doesn't mean I'm lower down in the gene pool than you are. It means that I understand the mechanical arts and you don't. Okay, that's why you can't do it in the first place. That's why you had to call me. That's why you tried to do it, jacked it up, and then had to call me. Okay? So who's the idiot, really? Okay? That's what I want to say. That's what I should be saying. But I don't, because I have to keep customer relations, alright? So if you want to know, if you've ever been one of the people that actually said that, and you want to know what the handyman's thinking, that's it, okay? Okay? Alright? And yes, eventually you do get some guy who is a complete idiot, who really doesn't know what they're doing. But people seem to ask that question as a blanket statement to anybody who's working with their hands. Okay, huge insult, especially when the person is right in the middle of fixing whatever it is that it broke, and half the time it's because you tried to fix it yourself. Okay. Alright, let's end on this one here. Let's not make this video too long. Let's see here. Can you go ahead and get started, and I'll pay you on payday. Okay, now I know that there is a lot of, out in the media and movies and stuff like that, a lot of times paints contractors as scoundrels, as con men. We want to take your money and then run away. And sure, that does happen, okay? So this is kind of, this one's a double-edged sword. All right, so I understand people. Well, I mean, hold on. Let me get back on that one. All right. Let me finish what I was saying on that. Whenever there's a storm that comes through, a tornado or something like that in the area, or bad flooding storms, there's a lot of damage. There always seems to be little companies or people that pop up out of nowhere. All right. So, I mean, I'm not saying blindly pay the person. I'm not saying ever to pay a person in full up front. Okay. No contractor handyman should be asking for the job's money up front before they even get started, all right? So, okay, so that part of the coin, I understand, all right? You need to be cautious with your money, all right? And there are con men out there that are wanting to take money and then they disappear. They're a lot of them for out of city, out of state, etc. And they come in, things like that, all right? But on the other flip side, all right, hopefully you've checked this guy out who's doing your work a little bit. At least you have a reference from someone who's seen their work, who's had their work done. All right, word of mouth, a friend of yours, your friend's sister, knows your work, whatever, So hopefully you've at least checked this person out before you invite them to their home. And, they have some kind of reputation that you know of, all right? I've got, I got almost a decade and a half with reputation here, and probably, hundreds of satisfied customers, all right? I've had people ask me this before, all right? And that's a huge problem. A lot of people take the money, depending on the size of the job, sometimes half up front, and then the other half at the end. If it's a bigger job, I'll split it up into thirds or fourths and make, payments out of it. It kind of depends on how much materials is used in the job. But even on a small job, okay, even on a small job, there's going to be some materials. So that means money out of my pocket. And I don't do that, okay, because I don't want to get burned by doing someone's job. And then they're like, well, blah, 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 we're getting short on money, or got into a fight with my wife, and I'm not the one, I told her we weren't going to do this. There's always some weird domestic issue, okay? So I'm going to take some money up front to cover the materials for the job, which are going into your house, okay, so that's your stuff, actually. You're going to pay for your stuff, not me. It's going to cover if I have a need for a new blade or bits or something like that are going to get used and burnt up on your job. So that's the consumables. So the materials, the consumables, and then a little bit of money in my labor, okay? It ain't going to cover, if you decide to bail out on the second half or something like that, or get, fishy or sketchy because you're fighting with your old lady or whatever, right? At least I have the material money, the consumable money, and a couple bucks for my labor, which at least pays for gas and lunch, okay, taken care of. All right. So this whole can you get started now and I'll pay you on payday thing, this is a business relationship. All right. You're putting me into a bad position because you're trying to play on my heartstrings a little bit, because you need something done, but you're a little short on money. Okay, I understand that everyone gets short on money. I get short on money. I'm a handyman. Okay. It is not the biggest paying job in the world. I'm a YouTube dude, but I'm a very small YouTube dude. Okay, again, does not pay much for the bills. So you're putting me into a tight spot. You want me to kind of sympathize with you, but on the same hand, you're leaving me with that question is, okay, is that money coming on payday or something else coming up? So when payday comes, you still have the money, okay? So that's a bad thing to say to a handyman. All right, because we should be getting money up front to at least pay for, and for those of you who don't know, for materials, which is going into your stuff, consumables, which is being burnt up and used on your job, and then at least a starter amount of labor for us, so we can pay for gas and lunches and a couple bucks, and then the rest be picked up. And like I said, unless it's a bigger job, sometimes they're broken up into thirds or quarters. But let's put it this way, especially for jobs that aren't emergencies, because this actually happens in a lot of times of jobs that aren't emergencies. It's not like a water pipe's broken and there's flooding water rolling out your front door, okay? Or you got sparks coming out of your wall from bad electrical, all right? Most of the time that I've been asked this question, actually, I take it back, all the time I've been asked this question is for a non-emergency type job. And that's the scary part, is this job is a frivolous job anyways. it's doing some kind of improvements to your house or additional project in the backyard or something like that, which is not necessary, okay? It's not an emergency. Alright, so if you don't have the money to start the project, don't ask me to start the project. Okay, don't put me into the position of making me try to like feel for you. You know, the only time that I should be ever put in that position is if it was an emergency and your water heater burst and you got water burning out your door, okay? Or, you know, you've lost your heat and air and it's either 110 degrees outside or it's 20 degrees outside, okay? Or you have sparks shooting out of your wall, alright? If it's not an emergency, okay, don't put someone on the line or on the spot, you know, if you don't have the money. Okay, other than that, I spoke that one over way too much. Like I said, it was a sensitive subject there when it comes to money and finishing off projects and getting paid properly. Because it was a sensitive subject. So that goes twice as hard as what never to say to your handyman, especially if you ever want the handyman to come back and do the job. Alright, so guys, other than that, I do have a website, greatwhiteninja.com. Yes, that's greatwhiteninja.com. I've got my blogging page, kind of in the background there. So I do a blog. I try to get 1 or 2 out a week, talking about things around the house and some of the other stuff that I do. If you do have something specifically, I know this is a what's not to say to your handyman. So if you have a good example of that, go ahead and leave that in the comments. If you have a problem around your house that you want to try to figure out, you know, do you need to call somebody? Should you try to fix it yourself? And if you're going to fix yourself, you know, what you might need to do, leave those comments down in the description down below too. You know, in the comment section, I'm sorry, not the description. You know, whether you're on Facebook or YouTube, so I'm streaming to both you guys right now. Leave those questions or comments, and I'll try to address those in another video. Other than that, thanks again. You guys have a good one.